I can also say, together with Willing, we knew you guys are working very closely. That's a good sign. I will share my content into the group. Okay. So later, if you guys need to refer anything, just refer over there.
Okay. Rashvin. Okay. So, Mr. Jerry, we can start now?
Just 1 more minute. Just a moment.
Okay.
Dia bảo ta. Okay. Just 看到耳朵麦。Hai kali lagi biasa. So Hafiz, this is on live already now? Okay. Good. Okay, Hafiz, I'm good to go. Let's start.
Oh, okay, let's start. Okay, good morning and good day, everyone. My name is Muhammad Hafiz bin Karul Anwar, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. For today's webinar topics is fundamental of being a successful entrepreneur. And before we start, I will remind to all of you that the attendance form will be displayed at the end of the closing ceremony. So don't forget to fill up the form to register your attendance and kindly stay muted until the end of the sharing session. To begin with, this webinar is organized to provide the students with the opportunity to enhance their entrepreneurial abilities and provide a starting point for their career opportunities after graduation. Therefore, with our very special guest, webinar will discuss the topic of fundamental of being successful entrepreneur. If you have any question that comes to your mind, just write them in the comment section and we will have a Q&A session at the end to answer your questions. Before we start, let me give a brief introduction for our speaker. Mr. Jerry Tam is a prosperous businessman in Johor Bahru. He currently owns a multiple enterprises and he stays at Skudai, Johor Bahru, Malaysia. He owns the renowned Atrus Bed and Breakfast Hotel, and additionally, he owns two eateries, restaurant Principal Cafe, and restaurant Padi Kopitiam. Mr. Jeritam is also well known and known for his integrity in the business community. Therefore, without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Jeritam as our honorable speaker for today's webinar. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Hafiz. Good morning, everyone. Okay, before we start, I would like to do a quick check, okay, just to make sure that everybody can hear I'm talking, can see me. If you guys can hear me, if you guys can see me, see the screen, can you guys type in 1 in the comment box? Just type in 1 in the comment box. Let me see. Let me have a quick check. Okay, great. I can see. Okay, morning Shafiq. Okay, Zion, Binasari, Anis, Abdullah, Irushkai, Nur Atira, Nazia. Okay, great. Okay. Without further ado, okay. Rashfin, so where can I control my slide? Is the screen being shared already? All right. Okay, great. Okay. Morning, everyone. Okay, so today it's my pleasure to be invited over here to do a sharing in this Technopreneurship Seminar about the fundamentals of being a successful entrepreneur. And this is a quick sharing session, a brief one. So throughout the session, if you guys have any questions, okay, of what I'm sharing later, feel free to type in your comment and leave your question into the box, okay? And I will try to answer your question as many as possible during the session. If not, I'll do it at the end of the session. There will be a Q&A as well, okay? Okay, so a quick intro about myself, like what Hafiz has already shared. So basically, my main business, I'm running F&B business, and at the same time, in my company, we are also having another hospitality business. It's a bed and breakfast business. It's like a hotel, like a budget hotel, but for backpackers. Okay, so all of our business are currently in JB, in different area of JB, and we have kopitiam, what we call party kopitiam, currently having 3 outlets, and we are also having a cafe, a very uniquely designed cafe. Okay, we are currently having 2 outlets of Principal Cafe. It's called Principal Cafe. Okay. All right. So before I start the session, when we talk about entrepreneur, can I have a show of hand? Okay, who has the intention of become entrepreneur after you graduated? When we say entrepreneur, meaning generally after you graduate, after you're done with your studies, there are basically 2 paths. One is you go and look for a very good prospect of a job in a company, okay, or you can be starting your own business. This is another path. Whoever is having the idea of starting your own business after you graduate, can you type in 2 in the comment box? Type in 2 if you have the intention to start your own business and become an entrepreneur, okay, after you graduate. Can I have a show of hand? Type in 2 if you want to start your own business. Great, Abdullah. Great, Hafiz. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, Siti Sarah. Great. There's no right or wrong. Guys, don't worry. Don't get me wrong. There's no right or wrong. It's totally fine to look for a job once you graduate and look for a good job when you graduated. Or if you have already an idea in your mind what you want to do after you graduate, okay, you can always go into starting your own business. But this is a very different path. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you, be it you want to look for a job first, working for someone else first to gain experience, to build out your own profile and start your own business one day in the future, you will never know. Or you want to start right into a business, after you graduate. So today I'm going to be sharing with you to become an entrepreneur. What are the 3 key traits, okay, to become a successful entrepreneur? As you can see here, there are 3 things, okay? There are 3 key traits. First, to become an entrepreneur, you're going to be a believer. Every one of you, for whoever just started into just now, Ashraful, Siti, Sarah, Hafiz, Adib, if you guys want to be an entrepreneur or somebody else in the future, okay, if you want to be an entrepreneur, the very first thing is you're going to be having an idea in your mind, right? It's either you want to be, having your own tech company, or you want to do your own, like me, F&B business, or you want to, take over your family business. You have to be the first one to believe in your idea. The believer is the leader generally, because if the leader don't believe what is his business idea, how else he want to convince anyone else to believe in him? Okay? And a lot of time for entrepreneur, it's very challenging because you have to believe in what you have to believe first so that you can see one day later what you believe in. For example, Elon Musk. Okay, I believe everyone knows Elon Musk. Okay, one of the most successful entrepreneur in the world right now. Okay, owning Tesla. Okay, if he doesn't believe electric car would work in the future, if he doesn't believe that, how can he have what he's having now? To have a good company, a big company with over 50,000 employees and with so many great cars. Whatever we are seeing now is what Elon Musk, has believed in at the very beginning, 10, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, when he started Tesla. So this is what I say, be an entrepreneur, you're going to believe in your own idea. Second, you're going to be an influencer. When I say influencer, it means that you have to be able to sell your idea, sell your dream, sell what is in your mind to the people surrounding you. For example, if you want to become an entrepreneur, you're going to be having a team, right? Your employees, your team, or your investor, your shareholder, your partners. If you do not know how to sell your dream, how to influence others, how can you grow your company? How can you grow your business? So an entrepreneur has to be an influencer. And lastly, you're going to be an achiever. What I mean is that first, you're going to believe in your idea. So one day later, you will see what you believe in. And second, you have to make people believe in your idea. So you're going to be influencer to influence them. And lastly, if you have believed in your idea, if you are starting to influence people around you, but if you don't do anything, how can you achieve? No, you achieve nothing. So to be an entrepreneur, you're going to remember this. It's all about grinding. What do we mean by grinding? Grinding means working hard. You have to be really working on your business, on your idea, on your dream, on your goal, so that one day later you will achieve what is in your mind and what you have told people. So these are the three key traits, okay, of being an entrepreneur. First, you're going to believe in your own idea, and second, you have to influence others, and third, you're going to be doing something, grinding all the hard work so that you can achieve what you have believed in. So, what makes one entrepreneur different from another entrepreneur? There are so many other factors, but today I would like to touch on just one key point so that everyone can really understand and remember this after these sessions. It's called mindset. You and your friend, you and the one that's sitting beside you, you and your competitors, you and your peers, you and your family or whoever else is surrounding you, you guys are just one mindset apart. What do I mean by that? Here's the first one. To be an entrepreneur, mindset is very important. And the first mindset I would like to get everybody to understand is to be an entrepreneur, you cannot expect motivation. Entrepreneurs self-motivate because their cause is strong enough for them to move forward. They know what they are working for. They know why they are working for. For example, I get the example of Tesla again, Elon Musk. If he knows so much that he knows that renewable energy gonna be coming into the world, into the society. We can't just use diesel or gas for our car. We have to use electric car, so that our it's more sustainable. If he doesn't self-motivate, if his cause of what he's doing now is not strong enough, he will give up. Be it whatever idea you are doing, you might not be starting a car company, doesn't matter. You may just want to have your own bakery, your own cafe, your own tech company, your own media company, your own marketing company, your own, anything, car workshop, anything. You can't expect motivation. Entrepreneurs self-motivate. Followers need motivation. So you should in turn expect that you have to be motivating your team so that they will keep moving forward. All right. Second is what I call a quadrant 2 mindset. I want everybody, for what I'm going to be showing next, I hope everybody can take a screenshot, or you can take a picture, or you can write down or draw on your notebook. This is by far, to me, one of the most useful tool or technique that has helped me, to achieve what I've achieved today. It's what I call a quadrant 2 mindset. This concept doesn't come from me, okay? But then this is something that really has been applied and implemented, over the past decades or past centuries. What is quadrant 2 mindset, guys? Look at this chart. Here, you can see there are 4 quadrants, right? Okay, and we divide this quadrant into urgent, not urgent, important, and not important. And here are 4 quadrants. First, quadrant 1 is something we call urgent and important. They have to do already. Quadrant 2 is something what we call, it's not urgent, but it is important as well, which you have to plan for. For example, quadrant 1, yeah? You have an assignment to do. You don't do it, suddenly your deadline is coming very near. 3 days later, it is very urgent, important already. If you don't get your assignment done, you will fail your semester, you will fail your module, you will fail your degree, you will fail your diploma. That's what we call quadrant 1 task. Okay? So you have to have the mindset of knowing what task is belonging to which quadrant. And when we look at quadrant 2, for example, you have to be looking for a job. For example, okay, probably next year. This is not urgent. You say, Jerry, this is next year thing. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, you are right. But then, if you don't do any research, if you don't plan for your employment, next year, when next year become today or become tomorrow, you have no time. So it's either you don't get the job, or you are doing something that you don't really like because you don't plan for your employment. You don't plan for your career moving forward. So looking for a job or planning or market survey for a job is in quadrant 2. Anything that you don't do in quadrant 2, it will go into quadrant 1 one day later. Means you have to do immediately. All right. So quadrant 3 and quadrant 4 is what that we have to know as well. But those things are not our priority. For example, if you look at quadrant 3, it says it is urgent, but it is not important. Okay? You can delegate that task. For example, you have to send your, for example, you have to send your mother, you have to send your siblings to somewhere else. Okay? But it's urgent. You have to send them like over, to somewhere else tomorrow. You have to send them back to hometown or something, for example. But you can't do it. It's urgent, but it's not important. So you can get somebody else to do it. You can get your father to help you. You can get your cousin to help you. You can get someone to help you. Okay? Quadrant 4 is the least important one. And this is what everybody have to understand. Whatever task in your quadrant 4, if it is not urgent, the task, and if it is not important, you have to eliminate that. For example, going for a movie. For example, going to a cafe for high tea. I don't know. It could be something that, you want to do, you feel like that you like to do, but, when you have so many things to do, and if that one task or that few tasks is not urgent, not important, you should eliminate that so that you can prioritize your focus in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. Here's a summary. You guys can take a screenshot of this. Okay, this is the example of 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 quadrants, and what are the jobs or what are the key examples of the things that may fall into quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and over here, I want to stress the most important quadrant is quadrant 2. Remember this. Okay, you have to plan for your long-term project. If you don't look long-term, you'll be always, working something, for tomorrow, for next week, for next month only. You have to look further. Process improvement or self-development. These are what you have to be taking care of. Reading, going for class, investing in yourself, learning more, knowing more. These are all in quadrant 2. This is important, but it's not urgent. If you don't do it, one day later, all of these jobs become very, very urgent and become quadrant 1. And if you spend all your time in quadrant 1 doing all the last minute job, what we call the last minute job or the emergencies, you have no time to plan for your quadrant 2 task, which is the important one, but probably not so urgent for now. But those are the key things to make you successful. Okay. Number 3, to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to understand the concept of flexibility and predictability. What I mean over here is that a lot of people, they say, wow, I want to be my own boss in future. I want to be an entrepreneur. But being an entrepreneur sometimes doesn't mean, you're working less hours. A lot of people say, wow, I'm going to be working for some company, working hours so long. I have to wake up, 7, 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning. I can only go back 5, 6, 7, in the evening. That's not what I want. Let's be my own boss. Let's be an entrepreneur. I just do my own job, I just start my own business. You don't start your own business if you're looking for shorter working hours. That's not true. Yes, you may have the flexibility. If you are on boss, if you are an entrepreneur, you can do things at your own pace, at your own time, your own schedule. You don't have to follow your company schedule, your school schedule or whatever. But then that flexibility comes with unpredictability. If you're working in your own business, for your own business, you are not working for somebody else, sometimes there could be some hiccups, unexpected hiccups that you can't predict. Suddenly, you have your customer complaining. Suddenly, something in the office is not working. Suddenly, during the weekend, some emergency happen. You have to attend to that. You can't predict that. Yes, you may have the flexibility in terms of your working hours, but then you may not have the predictability of what is going to be happening. But if you're working in a company, a good company, a big company, or small company, whatever, if you're working for somebody else, you have a predictable, work routine. Monday to Friday, you are doing this, or Monday to Saturday, you are doing this and that. You can plan and everything. It's predictable, but it is not flexible, right? So to be an entrepreneur, do not expect shorter working hours. Yes, it is more flexible, but you should expect longer working hours. Okay? Number 4, to be entrepreneurs, you should not complain. You're so tired. Why I'm doing this? Hey, how come this guy, he doesn't help me? Wow, why is this lady is not, working on what I've told her to do? What is this and that? You don't complain. When you think you are suffering, when you think you are exhausted, you are so tired, when you think you are the most hardworking one, in the community, you're more hardworking than your friends or whatnot. Always remember, I can guarantee you, there's always somebody else who's more hardworking than you, doing longer hours than you, sleeping less than you, facing more problems, and feeling more stressful than you. So to be an entrepreneur, you do not complain. All right. Number 5, you have to understand the trend. For example, for whoever typed into just now, that you want to start your own business after you graduate, or someone else, maybe you want to start your own business 5 years, 10 years down the road, you have to understand trend. When you are doing a business, means you're in the market by yourself. Market has a thing called market trend. If you do not know the trend, if you do not follow the market trend, if you are against the trend, how can your business be a success? For example, if you want to launch your own camera company, of course you will do digital camera. You won't do the old type of film camera, like Kodak, you get what I mean? If you want to do a car now, they won't create a car which is consuming more and more diesel, more and more gas. No, the car company, they will go for electric car or hybrid car. That's the trend. Okay, so just a trick, for you guys, that's the tips. If you want to do a business idea, if you want to think about what is your business idea, moving forward, what can I do? Look at these 3 things that I've said over here. The first thing, your business idea should be making something more sustainable. Okay, like car company or whatever, or you are doing a packaging company, but your packaging is eco-friendly packaging, you're using recyclable materials or whatnot, fine. Or if you're doing a business, it should be more healthy. It should be making people more healthy. This is the trend now. For example, healthy food or fitness business, or sportswear, sports equipment, dietary meal company or whatnot. Be more healthy. And of course, lastly, more convenience. For example, Grab car, Grab food, Food Panda, those are making people, having more convenience in food ordering. Okay. And for example, in marketing, right now, we have to understand the trend is about video marketing. Nothing else, video marketing. This is not a 4G era anymore. This is a 5G era. People want speed. People want something more engaging. So in terms of marketing, for whatever business you are doing now, always remember, video marketing is definitely the way to go. Okay, not now. It has been there, I think, for 3-5 years in the past, since TikTok or since IG, surfaced in the market, and it will be so moving forward as well. So when you do marketing, you can't be just printing brochure, going door by door. You can't just be doing door knocking. You can't do that marketing anymore. You can't just printing on brochure and send it to people. You can't do that. Video marketing, internet, even you do internet marketing, some people just do, copywriting, picture, that will work as well. I'm not saying that doesn't work, but then I would say video marketing surely works. Okay, TikTok, IG, I think you guys, know this software more than me. All right. And when we say understand the trend, we have to know how to do this differentiation in your business. for whoever typing to just now, want to start your own business, you have to remember, before you start anything, you have to be thinking, if you're doing something that somebody else has already been doing, how can you make that customer switch and come and buy from you if you are not doing anything different? You can say, any example, if you want to do a cake shop, if your cake is just like the cake shop down the road, next door to you, what makes people buy from you? If you're starting your own, tech company, if you're starting an app, a food ordering app, if you're not better than Grab, if you're not better than Foodpanda, how could you make people switch? It doesn't work. So differentiation is very important. And when you have differentiation, when your product or your service or your company is different, there are 3 advantages that I want you guys to understand. Remember this. First, it's easier to do branding and marketing. If a car company work on some car that is already very conventional, how can they market a car? Or if a car company, they're doing something electric or something, solar car or something that, just so advanced, it's easier to do the branding, to do the marketing. This is the first advantage of having differentiation. Second advantage is on pricing. If you're doing something that everybody else is already been doing, if you're selling a bag that everybody else is, everyone is selling, or you're doing a cake that is so common, how can you set a different price? You can't. You have to follow the market price because you are doing what the market has been doing. So you wouldn't have advantages on pricing if you're doing something so common. Third thing is on talent recruitment. For example, for those that doesn't type to just now, if you guys want to, just look for a job, work for another company, if the company is doing something so unique, so different, would you feel like joining them compared to a very conventional company doing something very common, very traditional already? Which one will attract you more? Of course, the company that is doing something different. You get what I mean? Okay, so being differentiated, being differentiated or having differentiation is very important in talent recruitment. Number 6, okay, remember this. If you want to be an entrepreneur, I can tell you this for sure, show face. Yes, your own face, like me, doing what I'm doing right now. If you want to be your own boss, if you want to do your own business, you have to show face. Personal branding is as valuable as your business. If you do not show face, if you are hiding behind your business, no one else know your business better than you. No one else know your product better than you. Just think about any successful entrepreneur in the world. If you think about Elon Musk, if you think about Jack Ma, if you think about Jeff Bezos, if you think about Warren Buffett, if you think about Bill Gates, if you think about any successful entrepreneur in the world right now, they all show face. They all, build their personal branding. You are the best spokesperson for your own brand. Remember that. And it is very important to show face. And when I say show face, I'm not saying, just, take a picture and show face, do something, funny or what. No, I'm not referring to that. I'm talking about, building your personal branding, doing videos in social medias, okay? And that is a very good way to build your own credibility. Credibility means trust. If you know the owner, if you know Elon Musk, if you know the owner behind a business, if you know the owner behind a lipstick, if you know an owner behind the bag, if you know the owner behind this cafe, you will know that you can trust the person more, you can trust the product more, you can trust the brand more, because you know the person behind. Somehow or other, it's in a subconscious mind. You will tend to feel more confident about them. Okay. Number 7 is what I call a fixed mindset and growth mindset. Being a successful entrepreneur, okay, sometimes it's very common, for us to struggle, for us to face challenges, for us to face problems. And a lot of time, when people are facing problems, it's very common, it's very easy, it's very general for us to be like, oh, let's just, do away with that. Let's just throw that away. I don't need that. I don't do that. Let's go for an easier way out. That's not the right way. If you are facing challenges, the right question to ask ourselves is always this thing, these 3 words. How can I? Take my words. Even right now, if you are doing something in your semester, in your classroom, in your course, that you are facing some challenges, you don't try to find an easier way out. Always ask, how can I? Whatever problems you are facing now, You are not the only one, and you are definitely not the first one who have these problems. Someone else, your seniors or somebody else, or on Google, somebody else on the other corner in the world would have faced the problems already. Okay, look for the solution. Ask, how can I? Okay, remember this. I like this quote a lot. Okay, and I really preach this quote as well. Tough times never last, but tough people do. Okay, so always ask, how can I? Number 8, okay, entrepreneurs should know crisis equal to opportunity. We have to think differently. And when they say crisis, I think the past 2 years, everybody know, it's MCO, it's lockdown, people can't move around, things are limited, things are restricted, the world just stopped moving for a while, And when that happened, everybody sell this, sell that, close that, people stop doing this, stop doing that. And this is what a good entrepreneur or a smart entrepreneur would do at this moment. They have to think differently. When people selling properties at very cheap prices during crisis time, that is an opportunity. This is a very good example. So the smart investor with deep pockets, they'll go into the market, they'll buy the property, and they will grow the property and wait for the value to appreciate. Another example, just like our case in our own company, we have one outlet in Impian Emas, okay, in Taman Skudai, which is very near to your university, okay, which that is also where Ashraful is working with us, That outlet, we got that place, we took over that place during MCO. And back then, that business owner is selling away the business because it's MCO. And she doesn't know how to operate. She doesn't know how to do marketing. She just feels like the brand is lacking momentum. In simple terms, can't generate income. So she's letting go the business. She's selling away the items and whatnot. And at the moment, nobody dare to buy because it's MCO. It's like, oh no, it's MCO. I don't think we should dump our money into that business, into that cafe. Don't do that. And that is where when I met the owner, when I understood the price, and when I negotiated with her, at the end of the day, we managed to get the shop lot. I mean to rent the shop lot, to take over the business at a great bargain. 20% of what we would have invested if we were to do a new outlet, if we were to open a new cafe. 20% of the cost of a normal investment. Okay? So that is, when there's crisis, there's opportunity. And to be entrepreneurs, you have to understand this. Number 9, speed matters. And rather, action matters as well. A lot of us, including you, including me, or everyone else, it's very common. We keep thinking. It's good to be thinking, to have thinking time. But if we keep thinking, without doing anything, it is fruitless. If you keep thinking, you don't do action, you don't take any action, nothing will happen. And sometimes when we start doing already, doing without finishing is useless. You do something, you start a business, you start a project, you start something, and you just don't commit to that. Without commitment, you can't finish that. Action matters. You have to keep on putting actions in your project, in your dream, in your goal. Be it now you are, probably you're gonna have another exam, another major examination or test coming up in the 3-5 month times or whatever. You have to think what is your strategy to study. You have to plan ahead, and you have to keep doing, putting in the hard work, grinding, when to study what, how you strategize, what material to study. Then do it fast, do it consistently. Speed matters. Otherwise, if you don't commit speed, if you don't commit action, whatever you are doing now, it won't finish, and you will never get to where you want to go. Number 10. This is one of my favorite slides. Okay, favorite ideas. When I talk about mindset, okay, all of these points is about mindset. Yeah. Okay. So on this note, take note, and for this one, I hope you guys take a screenshot as well. This is really important, and I find it very interesting. Here's how I explain this thing. You're gonna have patience. If you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to have patience for the macro. I'll get to macro later. Okay. You have to have patience for the macro. You're gonna have passion for the micro. What do I mean by this is macro is something long-term plan. In the future, your vision, okay? You're going to be patient, on what you want to achieve in next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. You can't be rushing, you can't be impatient for that. You're going to be patient. And on the micro, the daily task, for you to achieve your goal in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, okay? The daily task, the daily routine, the micro, you have to have passion. You have to put in the productive work. You have to do it quick. Keep putting in the grinding, the hard work. You have to have passion for all the daily tasks. Passion is what keeps you moving day after day, day after day, day after day. You like what you do. You love what you do. If you don't love your job, if you don't love what you do, you will stop doing, or you will do it very sluggishly. You will lack momentum, and you won't be productive. Okay. On long term, we have to have endurance. When we say patient, actually, what do we mean by patient? Patient, to me, I define patient in these few words. Patient basically means, for the long term, patient basically means enduring all these struggles. Enduring all the struggles. You're going to have difficulties, you're going to have challenges. You have to be enduring all the struggles for the long term so that you can achieve what you want to achieve in the next 3, 5, 10 years. Okay? So remember this, because what is happening right now is everyone else is just thinking this thing now, the other way around. A lot of young people right now, you know what they are doing? They want the macro thing so fast. Whoa, I want to be a millionaire in the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Maybe some of you will be thinking, wow, I want to buy a bungalow by 30, by 25. I want to be driving a BMW, a Porsche, a Ferrari, or whatever. I want to get a nice watch. I want to do this and that by 30, by 25. That thing is a macro, long-term plan. Everybody else just want that so fast. And on the micro, the daily little tasks, you guys are not doing things. You guys are, young people are just, taking it lightly, taking it slowly. If on the daily important tasks, you are doing it so slow, how can you achieve your big goal? So everybody is thinking this wrong. The other way around now. People want the big goal so fast, but the small tasks, they are so slow. We should do it differently. Have patience for the long-term goal, for the macro, and have passion for the micro, for the daily task. Okay? Remember this. It's very important. 11. Entrepreneur is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Worst case, expect zero salary. A lot of you will be thinking, wow, I gotta be my own boss. I want to be my own boss. Wow, because I can set my own salary. I can get as many as I want. I can get as much as I want. I can do this and that. I can have flexible hours. I can sleep by 3, 4 in the morning. I can watch World Cup. I can watch drama. I can do this and that. I can wake up at any time that I want. Yes, you're not wrong. And I can pay myself as much. Okay, but then this thing doesn't happen on day one. Probably not on day 100. Probably not on day 1000, which is 3 years. Rome is not built in a day. Entrepreneurship is not about a get-rich-quick scheme. Okay? When you are having your own business, when you are an entrepreneur, you have to understand this. Before you pay yourself, okay, you have to take care of your team before yourself. You have to take care of your suppliers, your vendors, or your technicians, whatever, your stakeholders, before yourself. You have to take care of your business before yourself. And there are times you'll be having financial difficulties and you would like to give up and you think, oh, I don't think I can do this. You see? Fixed mindset and growth mindset. How can I? Not, I can't. All right? So there are so many examples, in the Western country or in the Asian country. If I use back the same example again, Elon Musk. Before this, not about Tesla, yeah, it's about SpaceX, another rocket company that he's running right now. Before he get to where he is today, having really, a reusable rocket, he has failed so many times to the extent that he has to take all the money, from Tesla to pump it into SpaceX. And there were times where he just left with that amount of fund only, okay, and he has to decide whether to put it into Tesla or whether to put it into SpaceX. Either one he put in, the other one would die. The other one would fail. The other one will have to shut down. And end up, he put it off. He did it. So there are times when, they'll be having financial difficulties to the extent of bankruptcy. That's why I say here, be an entrepreneur, you should expect zero salary, not high salary at the beginning. No. Okay? It will be very fruitful one day, but not on day one, not on day 100 for sure, and not on day 1,000 probably. Okay? Next, be entrepreneurs. You're going to know your financials. I know not many of you like numbers. You'll be like, oh, Jerry, nah, I can't read accounts. I don't like accounts. I don't take accounts. I don't study accounts. I don't study finance. Nah. Yes, I know. If you're working for someone else in the future, yes, totally fine. You do not need to know financial as much. Okay, fine. Probably you have to know your own financial. Fine. But if you are, running your own business, if you're entrepreneurs, you have to know your numbers. Many business owners, they do not read their financial reports, or they don't even care to have one. That's wrong. Pricing, how do you set your price? Whatever you are doing, the service, or you are selling product, or you are doing a service in the future in your own business, how do you charge your price? How do you set your price? What is the costing? How much does it cost you to do that? What is the margin? Margin is your profit. What is left after, what is your selling price after you less your cost of doing that? What is your margin, your profit? What about taxes? Everybody pay taxes. Whichever country you're working in, you're going to pay government taxes. So remember this, business is not a show. It's not to show your friends. It's not to show your family. Oh, I'm doing my business. It's not to show your colleagues or your university friends. Guys, you see, I'm doing a business now. Wow, I'm a business owner. I'm a CEO now. No. You are totally wrong. Business is not a show. Business is business. It must be profitable, unless you are doing a charity, not for profit. There is. Okay, so you have to know what you want. Know your financials. Next, know your people. Understand this. Business success, be it whatever business you're working in, having your own business, or you're working at a company, and especially for entrepreneurs, you have to know your people. Business success predicates on human being, or what we call talents. All of you in front of the screen now, yes, you are the talent. We have to know, be an entrepreneur, everybody, anyone in the room, if you want to be an entrepreneur, we have to know the people. We have to know what your team wants. Somebody, they may want money, high salary, high bonus. They may want year-end company trip. They may want dental benefit. They may want job promotion. What do they want? Or they want an environment, a very cozy office, beans bag office, foosball office, snooker office, or office without without desk, without room. I want open office like Google, Facebook. Or they want good colleagues. They don't mind an old office. They don't mind a small office, but they want good colleagues. They want good environment. They want good culture. They want good colleagues. They want good people around them. Or they want foreseeable career path. They want to know what they are going to achieve, next year, 3 years, 5 years down the road. Or some people, your employee or team members in the future, they may want part of your future, meaning they want part of the business, meaning they want to be the shareholder of your business in the future, which is possible, So know your people. When you are growing your own business, when you are entrepreneur, you have to remember this thing. You have to be a giver first, not taker. A lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of bosses, they want to, just squeeze everything out of their people. Make them work as long as possible, make them work as hard as possible, but, keep taking from them without thinking, without understanding the people first. Everyone is working for themselves. Remember this. Not working for you. Every single one is working for themselves. They may want the opportunity to learn something. They may want the recognition from the team. They may want the spotlight moment. Be the giver. You have to give your team what they want first before you take from them. Okay, so take care of your people. And to be an entrepreneur, you have to know yourself. Yes, guys, listen. You need not to be the most technically competent. You may not be the strongest salesperson, or you may not be the smartest in the room, in the boardroom, in your company. But that doesn't matter. You know, the most technically competent one, or the strongest salesperson, or the smartest one, not necessary is the boss or is the entrepreneur. No, be an entrepreneur, it doesn't require you to be the strongest, to be the smartest, to be the most competent one. No. So maybe you're asking, so Jerry, so what we should be if we are not the smartest or we're not the strongest one? How can we be the boss? Huh? To be an entrepreneur, you have to be the visionary. You have to have the vision, know what the company is going for, where the company is going. You have to be the believer, as I said earlier. You have to believe in the idea, and you have to share that with people and bring people who believe in what you believe, bring them on board onto your team. Okay, you're going to be the leader to lead people. You have to be making sure you don't have to be the smartest, but you have to hire the smartest. You don't have to be the best salesperson, but you have to be able to influence the best salesperson, sell them your dream, and get them into your team. Leader is about making strong people, making good talents working together, even though you are not the smartest one. Okay? And lastly, be a listener. You have to be the listener. You are not the strongest, fine. You're not the smartest, fine. But you're going to be willing to listen to the strongest. You have to be willing to listen to the smartest. Otherwise, you'll be working in your own, your own world. So, be an entrepreneur is about being a listener as well. Number 15, okay? Being an entrepreneur is unfair. Yes, always been, and it will always be. Okay? It's unfair. Remember this guy. Be it now, you want to start your own business now, next year, 3 years, 5 years down the road, or 10 years later, the game is never fair. You and another one, or you and your friend, just take it as an example. You want to do your own business, your friend want to do his own business, you guys, start on the same time, and maybe he succeed faster than you or whatnot. You made it all is unfair. Yes, it's unfair. You guys may be having different family background, different financial background. Probably you don't have much capital to start with. The other person has tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions to start with. It's unfair. Yeah, it's unfair. Or different network or resources available. You are doing things, you have to do your own market research, grinding, hard work, do everything by yourself, do marketing by yourself, do sales by yourself, do finance by yourself, do account by yourself, do recruitment by yourself, everything by yourself. Yes. But the other person, maybe he has resources. He know how to hire an accountant. He know how to hire a marketing expert. He know how to hire a business model expert. Resources are available for him, not for you. It's unfair. Yeah, it's unfair. Or different mentor. You don't have a mentor. You are doing everything by yourself. You don't go for classes. You don't attend classes. You don't invest, in any motivation camp or boot camp or whatever, or business talk. No. You don't have any mentors. You are all you're all on your own. You're all by yourself. The other one, he may have mentor guiding him step by step, what to do, how to do, when to do, where to go. And he's moving faster, he's achieving things faster, quicker, better, higher results. Because he has mentors telling him what is the right thing to do. And you have one. It's unfair. Yeah, it's unfair. The thing about this is about you are taking the staircase to get to where you want, and your friend is taking the escalator easier. The other person probably taking elevator pump. It's faster. Just like you're taking a bus, your friend's taking train, which is faster. Someone else can be taking a private jet to get to where they want. It's unfair because resources available is unfair. The background is, it's different, and the background is different. Okay. So, what to do if it is unfair? Focus on your own track. Focus on what you want to do, where you want to go. Believe in that. Grind. Do it. Be infinite-minded. Remember this. When you feel it is unfair, be infinite-minded. What do I mean by that? You think it's unfair because you are comparing. If you're comparing, you feel it's unfair. Okay? Infinite-minded means you do not compare yourself with that person. You set a goal where you want to go, what you want to do, and you know for yourself, that is my goal. When you are focusing on your own goal, you are setting a benchmark against yourself. That is an infinite game. Your goal, your height, your achievement is not determined by someone else because you don't compare. Want an example? Apple company. They always be creative. They always set, they always think what they want to do, what they want to achieve, what product they want to create. Okay? They never compare themselves to BlackBerry, to Nokia, or to any other company. So yeah, be infinite-minded, Lastly, okay? Ever learning. Keep learning. This is one of the simplest points. I put it last because probably you guys will forget about this, but take my words. For me to say this thing is very simple. This is one of the simplest points. Oh, guys, keep learning, yeah? But then this is not always the easiest one. You can be reading a book. You can be attending courses. You can be going for seminar. You can be, going for boot camp. You can be joining business networking session. Or you can be learning from just your own mistakes. Okay? So keep learning. You and your goal probably just that one lesson apart. Whatever problem you are facing now, probably you are just that one lesson apart to solve that problem. And this lesson, you can get it from book, from course, from seminar, from talk, from business session, from a conversation with a friend, with a business owner, with somebody else, So keep learning, guys. Okay, so that's all I want to share. And this is our team now, at the very moment. Okay, so as you can see on the top, there are 4 brands. One is called Bali Kopitiam, one is called Principal Cafe, Platter is another brand that we are having now, and Trust Bed and Breakfast. Okay, so of all this, with all these mindset that I've told you, all the 15 points that I've shared with you guys, and the 3 key traits of an entrepreneur, and this is what makes us where we are today. We're having 4 brands, and we are operating in 6 different locations. We have cafe, we have restaurants, a budget hotel, and at the very beginning of this year, 1st Jan 2022, before that, we are only having less than 20 crews. And at this moment, we are having more than 80 crews. Okay, all the young talents in our team. Yesterday, I spoke with our HR, I think she just told me that on our payroll, there are over 100 headcounts already. This is not the end. This is not a destination, but this is just a milestone. And we are growing. Everyone else is growing. But with what I've told you guys just now, those are the key things that brought us to where we are today. And I hope it is helpful. Whatever we are sharing today, it can be of that little value to some of you. And I think this session is worthwhile. Okay, thank you everyone. So here is all I want to share. And I'll be opening the floor to question and answers, okay, for Q&A. If any of you want to ask any question, feel free to type in, into the comment, or if you want to say anything, because I can't hear you. So you just feel free to type in, the question. Yep, so I'll hand back the floor to Hafiz.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you very much for your insightful sharing, Mr. Jaritam. Very inspiring to us and someone who has an ambition on dreams to build our own startup company for their own entrepreneurship skills in the future. Now, let's move on to the Q&A session. If you all guys have any question, please put it in your comment section as we can see you the question, and Mr. Jerry can help in assisting to answer the question. Please feel free to ask any question. Thank you. Oh, see, there's this question from Rashvin Joshua.
I think there's one earlier question from Azfa
Yes.
Numan. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to that first. Okay. So thank you for asking. Okay, so now the first one. as far as asking, is it important to keep up with business trend? Let me put it this way. Yes, it is important to keep up with business trends, but I can tell you, the game changer, they don't just keep up with business trends. They create a new trend. They foresee, they are able to envision what is going to be happening next in the future, and they do that. For example, Elon Musk, he doesn't follow market trend. If he follows market trend, if he just follow market trends, yes, he can be successful, but not as successful as he is now. If he just create a normal car, not rocket, not electric car, yeah, he can be successful, building just another diesel car or gasoline car company or whatever. That is the market trend. But he's looking to the future. Now we are thinking, oh, electric car is so common. Yeah, because 10 years ago, 2008, he's just having 500 employees. Right now, over 50,000 is 100 times more. Back then, he's already thinking electric car, electric car, electric car. So back then, it's not the trend. But he make it a trend today, now. That's why you're thinking, oh, electric car is so common now. Yeah, it is common because somebody else has met that trend. Okay? Rashvin say that, when did you know you wanted to become an entrepreneur and not just pursue a regular job like other people? Actually, for me, myself, I'm working for someone else before as well. When I first graduated, I actually graduated with a degree in accounting and finance. Okay. So I was working in Big Four, what we call a Big Four company. It's called Ernst & Young EY as auditor. And after that, I got my qualification as a chartered accountant. I was a manager in an audit firm. After going through all the good challenges, it's a very demanding environment, but then it is very, very valuable as well. But yeah, and 1 year later, I think probably that's not the thing that I want to pursue for the next 10 years, 20 years of my life. And hence, I make the switch. Okay. Next, Xven, if I pronounce that correctly, would becoming a part of a company diminish your chance of succeeding in the field of entrepreneurship? Very good question, Xven. I'm not sure who's behind the screen, but Xven, very good question. I think everybody should listen to this. Do not ever think that working for someone else diminish your chances to become an entrepreneur. Instead, it enhances your chances of success. Think about this. If you've already been through what is the mistake in a company without paying for the price because your bosses is paying for that, how good is that? That's good. And when you have your own business later on, you already know, that is a pothole that I should avoid. That is a trap that I should avoid. I won't say you won't be making mistakes. You will be making mistakes, but you won't be making those unnecessary, or you won't be making those avoidable mistakes because you have been through that in your 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years of time when you are working for another company. So be a part of another company, it will basically make your entrepreneurship more successful, I would say. Okay. MH, is the fun or the ideas are important? Is it the fun or the ideas are important for long-term business? Both. Ideas cannot be realized without fun. Fun will be useless without ideas. Okay, both. I would say both. Lokesh Dinesh, what are the key points for attract customer to support the business? Take my words, guys. Differentiation. If you're doing something so common, why will people switch and buy from you? Imagine if you're doing another convenience store like 7-Eleven, and you are like 7-Eleven, or maybe you call it 7-12. Why would people buy from 7-12 and not 7-Eleven when you are doing something totally the same? There's no reason for people to switch. You get what I mean? If Tesla is not doing electric car, he's doing some normal car. Why would people buy from Tesla if that normal car can be found in Toyota, Honda, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, or whatnot? No. Differentiation is very important. Abdullah Adam M is asking, how long is a reasonable time to spend working in a company before starting your own? Is taking their clients later with a better product considered unethical? Very interesting question. Very interesting question from Abdullah. Okay, there's no reasonable time to spend in a company. It depending on how ready are you. If you think 3 years is not enough for you to gain the experience to do what you want to do, you make it longer, 5 years. Always think about this. Sometimes when we try to be quicker in becoming an entrepreneur, it's actually slower as well, because you don't have enough resources, or you don't have enough funds, money, or you just don't have enough ideas, and you just want to be an entrepreneur for the sake of becoming an entrepreneur when you're not ready at all. So to me, there's really no reasonable time to say 1 year, 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, 6 years is a reasonable time. No, it's really depending on how ready are you and how ready is the market for your idea. And the second part of the question is asking, is taking their clients later with a better product considered unethical? In the business world, you can achieve that by ethical way. If you are able not to poach their client like that from the back door, but if you are able to do a better value for the client, I believe the client will switch by themselves. You don't have to grab them, fight for them. No. So it's about value creation. What can you do better? Can you making a product quicker, better, easier, more convenient, or cheaper, or whatnot? It's about value. Okay. Thank you, Ryandra. Thank you. Thank you, Adib. Thank you, Xavier. Okay. Araf Islam is asking, do we need to have any prior working experience in any particular working sector to get involved in any entrepreneurial startup involving that particular startup? Okay. I get your question. Not a must, not necessary. I'm in F&B now. I'm in hospitality right now. I do not have the experience. I was an auditor. I was working on accounts. I was looking at numbers. But now I'm in a totally different field. So not necessary. But then, if we are involving in something very, very technical, for example, in a tech company, for example, there are a lot of examples. A doctor working for a hospital, one day later, he come out and set up his own clinic. Yeah, because that is very professional job. Same goes to an architect. He's working for a big architecture firm. One day later, 5 years, 10 years later, he come up and set up his own architecture firm, because that industry require technical knowledge. So yes, it is very important for you to get the industrial knowledge first. Otherwise, you can't do what you want to do. Architect, doctor, lawyer, yeah. So I would say there's a yes for you to be working in a related field to see the whole process. Generally, I would say 3 to 5 years is a good time for you to see the entire process or most of the processes in the company. So you can get that, you can gain the experience, and you can extract those out and do your own. Okay? Any more questions?
Guys, any more question? Okay, we have about 10 minutes left. So this is one. For me myself, I want to ask you, Mr. Jari. So for this entrepreneur skill that you gain from your studies and during develop it throughout your career until now, so what is the important part is if you want to be a successful entrepreneur from the start, actually what age is the good age to start thinking about business, or just anytime the idea comes from your mind?
I would say it may sound a bit cliche, but I would say old age is a good age. Colonel Sanders is the founder of KFC. He started KFC at the age of 68. Jack Ma started his business at the age of 30 or 40. It's not about what age is good to start a business or good to start an idea. No. It's really about your readiness and the market readiness. And when you want to start an idea or start a business, it's very important. That is just a very small part, of the entire journey. So it's more, and you may change the idea one day later. You don't have to have a perfect idea to start. Always remember this. You don't aim for perfection to start an idea. No. When you think you are 60%, 70% ready, you just go first. You just kick start the project. And as you go, as you grow, as you progress, you fine tune your idea. Okay, so maybe at 25, you want to do something. When you are doing it for 2 years, 3 years already, when you're at 28 or whatnot, you want to change the idea. That's possible. Or you want to change to another business, or you want to stop that business and change something else. That's possible either. Or when you have found your track already, you're doing something that you really enjoy doing, and maybe the product or the idea or the business need to tweak or need to pivot here and there, it will happen one day. So, there's nothing so called, the best time or the best age. No. There's another
Okay, thank
question
you.
from
Yeah, yes.
Rushkai. Do we need to have a model or a budget when starting a company or business? What are the budget range, at least based on your experience? Very good question. Basically, it depends on the industry. If you're talking about a tech company, you gotta have hundreds of thousands, if not millions. And that's why a lot of tech companies, whatever you see now, is a very, 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 very handful successful one. When you say Grab, when you say Airbnb or any and or Custom or whatever, they are being funded. They are being funded by big investors, billions, not millions, billions of cash. And if you're talking about, let's say, starting your own car workshop, starting your own printing workshop, starting your own bakery, your own cafe, yeah. So, depending on the equipment that you want to buy, or do you need any renovation for the shop lot, or some of you may be thinking, Jerry, I don't think so because I want to be my job. I can do it. I'm a programmer. I'm a software developer or whatnot. I can be just working in the office. I didn't rent the office, or even better. So your cost of investment is just your laptop and your Wi-Fi and your printer in the office. You can start a business already. That's possible as well. But if you want to bring a mortar business, like a cafe or restaurant or whatever, yeah. So you basically have to invest, six figures is a minimum. Six figures, hundreds of thousands. That is generally the standard, I would say.
Okay, any other question? If you guys want to ask right now, we have about only 5 minutes left. Wait.
Any more questions, guys? Feel free to ask.
Please, guys, don't miss this chance to ask question from Mr. Jerry. Okay. Okay, while waiting for the question to come up, so Mr. Jerry, can you give the feedback for our seminar? If you have anything to say to add on while we waiting for this question to come. As a student, as we need to do, or because right now we are in right now because in the economy steadily going up. So is there any tips for the latecomers to be an entrepreneur, or there is any point to do in after this in the future?
Okay. Actually, it's very good that Hafiz, you spot that trend, that you realize it's picking up the economy. But don't be worried about, I'm a latecomers. I'm still studying. About the economy is picking up now. It's coming back after COVID, after all the reshuffling. No, you don't worry about that. The economy will be growing and shrinking, will be growing and shrinking. The market will be changing, and the market, will always reshuffle. And it's about wealth distribution for whoever is able to create better value, be it now or later in the day. is able to gather more wealth, meaning if you are able to create a business idea better than what is already existing in the market right now, sooner or later, you'll be able to attract those customers to pay you for your idea, for your value, for your service, for your product, and eventually you will get the wealth. So, don't be worried about, the timing, everybody is at the right timing. Okay. Yeah. Hirosh Kai said that, asking, is there any red flag that we can avoid when starting a business? What kind of employee we need to find, or what kind of investor are we targeting? Wow, I can see a very ambitious guy here. Very good. I'm happy to see this. I- Irish, Kai. Okay, Irish Kai. All right, red flags. I would say to me, it's about partnership. It's very common that you guys be thinking, wow, me and my roommate, me and my bedmates, me and my classmate, we are going to the business together. Oh, that's fine. But the thing is, without enough experience, either both of you or all of you, how do you ensure that he or she is the right one? The one beside you is the right one. There are things that you have to consider. Whether are you guys sharing the same vision, whether you guys are having a same mindset about how to spend money, how to keep money, how to earn money, how to pay yourself. you know so I would say, generally the red flags are about finding your partners, and that's very important. You can be doing the business on your own and find a team, or you can have two, three partners, few partners to do it together, and have a team as well. So it's depending really, but be very careful when you want to go into a partnership. It's not that easy. Okay, good partners can make your business excel, but I wouldn't say a not good partner, but I would say if the partner is not suitable, it's not the best fit in your team, that can also destroy your business. Even a good business, one day later, because of partnership issue, the business will just go into the drain. Okay. And what kind of employee we need to find, or what kind of investor are we targeting? It depends. If you're entrepreneurs, for employees, you have to see what kind of values, what kind of culture you want to create. That's the first thing. Second thing, what kind of expertise are you requiring in your business? Are you doing an F&B? Are you doing a hotel business? Are you doing a service business? Are you doing a car company? Are you doing a tech business? Are you doing a marketing company? Are you doing what are you doing? So you have to see what are the expertise required in your business as well. Okay, but generally, to me, values are very important. Culture, the culture. If the person is so competent, but have no good values, or your value and his value are clashing, you guys won't be working together for long. Trust me. Okay. And what kind of investor are we targeting? I would say investor are targeting sexy business. How sexy is your business? Why would people invest in you? Or why would people think that you are a better keeper for his money? Why? So that is what you have to pitch and convince them. Okay. So it depends on how sexy are your business. Okay. What else? Any more questions? Wow. Okay. JRD, how do you boost productivity and motivate your team employee without causing burnout? Wow. Very thoughtful questions, JRD. I would love to answer this. Um, you can't really boost productivity or motivate them when you put them in the wrong position. Imagine you are asking a fish to climb a tree. Hey, you're gonna climb faster. How can you do that? You can't do that. Or you're asking a cow to swim. Are you gonna swim faster? Oh no, you can't do that. So it's not about, before you even want to think how to boost, you have to make sure you put them in the right position. And as I say just now, JRD, take my words again. Just like in the slide, I'm talking about something. You have to be the giver first before be the taker. Before you take more productivity from them, you have to give them what they want, what they require first. Are they looking for a better workplace, better environment, better culture, better colleague, better pay, better career path, or clearer explanation of their job scope? That will help in productivity. Okay. And of course, if you talk about motivation, You can't motivate just by giving money, giving incentive or whatnot. Those are very, very, very short term. However much you are giving, there's another company that's giving more. So those are not sustainable. Okay. That's why when they say without causing burnout, I'm assuming you're thinking about using money, but I can tell you money is not always the best case. It could be one of the very good tools, but not necessarily always the best one. Okay, MH is asking, the competition between big companies are affecting your business, or it did not matter as general. Everyone is at different league. Big competitors, they are aiming for different customer probably. Yeah, yeah. So you have to know like who are you targeting. If the client that the big company is targeting, probably you won't be able to target, because for example, if the big company is doing big clients, the big client need a lot of resources, you need a very big team to serve. If you're starting your own business, probably you can't target that client at the moment. So generally there will be clients which are smaller, which are able to pay lesser. That is your suitable client. Okay, so every player in the market, you have to know your brand positioning, so that who are you selling to. Okay, not everyone is selling to the same type of customer. And when there are new player coming out like us, there are also new customer coming into the market. Okay. Yep. Any more
Okay.
questions?
One last question, please. Someone before we
Okay.
before we one or two question last before we end this session. Okay, everyone who attend this seminar right now, please fill in the G form, and later we will provide the QR code for attendance. One more question, please. Or one and two. Okay. Okay. If there is no any question right now, Mr. Jerry, can we end this session for today?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
for the invitation again. Yeah, I hope yeah, one or two points over my sharing just now are helpful to some of you. If it is helpful, and I think the entire session is worthwhile. Okay.
okay. So for me, as a moderator for today, thank you for all of your answers and feedback for the question. We look forward to your continued success in your businesses. Okay, I think that's all for me. And next, please scan the QR code for feedback and reminder for today's seminar. Please fill in the Google Doc attendance as a proof for today's session of the seminar. I think that's all for our session for today. Thank you again, Mr. Jaritam, and we
Welcome.
will see you again in the future. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. All the best in your future. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Okay.
Hafiz, are we having any like a picture or whatever that they mentioned just now? You still need to.
Yes, but between this committee only.
Okay. So do I have to leave the studio
Uh,
first?
yeah, yes. Not leave.
Oh,
Just Rashwin. Okay.